Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Michael Huber.
Hey, everyone.
And Brandon Jones.
Thanks for watching.
Whoa. Or listening.
Or listening.
Watching
and
they
listening.
could be watching the timer on the device.
What? What timer?
If you're the timer, like you push play and it starts going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can be. I see. I envision a lot of people driving and listening to this for some reason. I guess because that's how I ingest podcasts.
Drive safe, everybody.
Drive safe. Don't get too close to the bumper in front of you. Daniel
I want to
Bloodworth.
see. I want to see the comment that is like, I almost got in a crash when Huber yelled or something.
Probably happens. Why don't you roll that 4-sided die for us? Jones, you'll be 1. I'm 4.
Okay.
Here we go. The number is 4. Once again, Bossman gets the level 2 Prove It ticket.
Because of you.
Because of you.
Does this thing?
You gave me crap for not using it. You
Okay.
didn't use it.
I remember. I was there for that.
Yeah.
So now I get to also use this for a Take It Back. Now it's
Yeah.
level 2.
Has there been level 3? Is there level 3?
There is level 3. It has not yet been seen.
Okay.
No one has seen level 3 yet.
Anyone but Kyle should have this thing, but okay.
Blood, you rolled the die, man.
Yeah, it's true.
I know.
Don't
I
be
made
bitter about
sure
the way
that
the
it actually
gravity
works.
fell.
So it's.
No,
Number
it
4,
doesn't
baby!
count.
Number 4, baby!
That doesn't count. No, I demand
What?
I demand
All
a
I ever
recall.
see is
Oh,
1 and
geez,
4.
Hubert.
The device.
We're not using the device.
The device
It's
is
too clunky.
canon.
It's too clunky.
Oh my god.
I got the Prove It ticket, baby. It's time for corrections. Let's begin corrections music, please. Stephen Bloom holds the Guinness World Record, recognizing him as the most prolific video game actor. So just that's the specific title.
Okay. I have a correction with that, too.
Oh, no.
He makes way more than that. The number that I said last week was simple math based on $850 a session per session. So I think it was like 400 something. He's done over 400 video games.
Yep.
400 times 850. That's how it came at 330,000, something like that. You also get double that, triple that, quadruple that. If you're someone like a Nolan North working on Uncharted, you don't just get a session fee and get out of here. You know, they give a little extra. The point is, it's a flat rate. No, whatever Nolan gets, he gets and is gone. And then if Uncharted, becomes the number 1 selling video game of all time, he doesn't get anything
But
else.
that's why they're striking too.
They're striking for a lot of different reasons.
But that's one of the-
Yeah, specifically how much he's made in his lifetime, I drastically understated. So,
Bloom
correction on
forgives
myself.
you. He forgives you, man. Sounds like to play Anywhere with the same game, you do need 2 separate accounts. One is your primary, and then someone else on a non-primary account.
Oh, yeah, I get that. So, because if it's on your home system, then anyone on your home system can play that game, and then you would log in onto the PC and play against them.
Okay, got it. I think. I got some theories for why games launch on Fridays. Europe has long released games on Fridays, so perhaps
Yeah, I mean,
like
that's their day.
an international release day. Maybe like that was the idea. Releasing on Friday. Oh, it might be to accommodate the early access games. So the games, all these games saying, "Hey, you'll get it early." They're not really giving it to you early. They're just making it late for everyone else. That was another theory.
Japan is Thursdays, or at least it was. I haven't kept up with it lately.
Another theory is that video games are simply catching up to the music industry, which has also shifted to Fridays.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Where did music used to be?
Tuesdays. Everything was Tuesdays.
Okay.
Music,
Yeah.
movies, games, it was all Tuesday.
Yeah. The most recent Ghost Recon game is Future Soldier. Forgot all about that game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait,
Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
No,
from
there was
from 2012.
there's the online one, isn't there?
Ghost Recon Online.
Yes.
But I think it had a different, it wasn't just Ghost Recon Online, I think it had like another subtitle.
Sure. I'm gonna go with this person who just said that Future Soldier is the most recent. Unless proven otherwise. And GameChillers.com gave Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter a 9.9.
9.9.
The
Yep, I
highest
remember that.
score ever from that website.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's on Advanced Warfighters at Wikipedia page.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
9.8.
Oh, nice.
It
It's
is.
also on Metacritic.
And correction music. Well, no, it even states like Game Trailers gave this a 9.9, their highest score ever. It's
Yeah.
like, all right.
Or actually, I think I looked, it wasn't on Metacritic, but it was on Game Rankings. So I don't know why it wasn't on Metacritic.
Oh. Like,
We were so close to
Yeah.
a 10. We were there, man. It was Uncharted 4. We were there.
Yeah, but that's not the one that
it would
you
have
would've-
happened.
It would have happened.
That's not the one you would
I
have
would
wanted.
have done it.
Yes. That's not the one I would have wanted to be a 10?
Right.
Why?
Uncharted 4?
No.
Ghosts. Recon.
Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah. No, you don't want that.
Oh,
We've been having a lot of fun with this weird, strange fact that all of our audience likes Shrek more than...
I'm cutting you off. Please stop the madness.
You need to hear this comment.
We have to stop.
Jones, you need to hear this comment. All right, so
No.
this comes from Wheatley Simmons.
No.
Okay, this Princess Bride thing is getting out of hand. I've seen The Princess Bride many, many times. It is a beautiful thing when a beloved book translates so well into a beloved film. It is a beautiful, heartwarming work of art. I love The Princess Bride with all my heart. When I was younger, I would watch it almost every week. These days, I watch it less, but it is still one of those films I go back to time and time again, and I plan to watch it again tonight. I can't accept the notion that there is nobody out there that thinks that this is a better movie than Shrek. Admittedly, that person isn't me. Shrek is a masterpiece. But come on, allies.
Do you want to know how it feels when you're like done with the day and you check like Twitter and it's just like 36 mentions? You're like, all right, sweet. Let's get. I got 36 notifications. Let's get into it. All Princess Bride Shrek. All of it. All of
Shrek
it.
fans, leave poor Jones alone. This isn't right. I'm with Wheatley Simmons. It has to end.
You're right. It does.
We have to find
You're right.
someone.
How
know.
did you find the comment that actually said that?
I read the comments.
There are like 3 of those a week.
I read those and everything else.
Compared to 300
All the Shrek fans.
on the other side.
Everybody, Shrek's the best. Shrek's. I can't take it. It's crazy. So please, for Wheatley, for me, for Jones's sanity, find someone, anyone, who likes The Princess Bride more than Shrek. Oh God! Y'all know my favorite way to start a podcast?
When the Shrek bit is longer than the Patreon bit. that's when flags start to go up. Red, yellow. I'm sorry, game announcement? Was that the
We
answer?
have a game announcement?
We
What
kind of
announced?
have a game announcement. It's a game leak.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I
Okay.
got Jones's interest. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Jones.
Shadow
Whoa,
of the
I
Tomb
missed
Raider?
it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So here's what happened. Someone on a train took a picture of someone next to them in Montreal.
girl on the train.
A laptop
Okay.
opened
no.
to a presentation
Oh,
talking
don't
about
do
graphics.
that. Not on a
Always.
train.
and
What
in
are you
the upper
doing?
right-hand corner, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And so you're like, oh, that could easily be fake. This is just Reddit. But then, the sleuths at Kotaku said, oh yeah, that's real. You know, they did that kind of thing. We're just like, oh yeah, we heard about that. That's apparently very real. Here's the interesting part. In development with Eidos Montreal, who previously did Thief and Deus Ex Mankind Divided, did not previously do the previous Tomb Raider game. So that's the scoop. That's all we know about that right now, is the title, the developer, and that we don't know what Crystal Dynamics is working on.
Huh, okay.
This
Wait.
could be DLC. Maybe?
No way,
No,
man.
they,
That's clearly
Or
a
it could
They
title.
wouldn't have
sequel.
Tomb Raider in the title. It would
Or
just
it
be
could
like,
be like an Arkham Origin situation, like a prequel or like a side thing. Crystal Dynamics then works on the main.
Oh, sure.
I would.
Two studios now.
I would guess
Quality
sequel.
stuff.
I'd guess it's Tomb Raider 3.
It's the Shadow, man. Rise of the Tomb Raider and then the Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Someone's shadowing
Wasn't
Lara.
her
Someone's
dad
chasing
the
her.
Tomb
like-
Raider? Am I
What?
getting my lore wrong?
Blood.
In these Tomb Raider games, I haven't played through them both in a while.
No, Rise of the Tomb Raider is clearly about Lara Croft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was
Come on.
saying Shadow of the Tomb Raider could be the shadow of
The sins
her
of
family,
her father.
her family's alive prequel. Then you could like go do some stuff with her dad.
No, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is about consequences. I'm already hyped for this game.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I'm hyped for Shadow of the Tomb Raider from Eidos Montreal.
Yeah.
You should see the corner of this presentation, though. It's
Well,
really.
what
it's
if
really-
Are
It's,
you sure
VR?
that it's like
What if it's just a VR game?
primarily developed by Eidos Montreal and they're not just assisting?
Kotaku's sure of it.
I don't think it's a
Who am I to doubt
mainline-
Schreier? Who am I to come and say Schreier? I don't know, man.
It doesn't feel right to me
What?
that it's another mainline sequel. I think it's a VR game or something.
Ooh.
Honestly.
Well, I mean, it's,
It does
yeah,
seem
I
a
mean,
little early. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Square
late.
Enix
it doesn't
So.
feel
Montreal
right.
is in that building. They've got mocap studios. I don't think that their core team is big enough to handle 2 games at the same time. It's weird. That doesn't seem like it makes sense.
It's a big studio,
Smells
blood.
fishy.
I mean, I've been in the studio.
Whoa, you've been in Montreal? You've been in that
Oh,
studio?
must be nice.
Yeah.
Listen to this guy.
Yeah.
He's almost like Schreier himself.
They've got beta tapes just hanging out.
I'm sure they don't anymore.
Sure, they have
Comes from
copies
Slack.
of
Yeah, that was
Shrek
just
all
like a
over
little
the
while ago.
place.
They've got them there
Oh. Wait, when were you there?
for Mankind Divided.
Oh.
Last year sometime.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. Well, when Kotaku shows up, people whisper in their ears. When Blood shows up, they just show them the beta tapes.
There was something that we weren't allowed to walk into part of the office.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
There's a scoop, Blood. This is the kind of scoop we need, man.
Yeah.
That's where Shadow of the Tomb Raider was happening.
Yeah.
All right.
It just said STR on the door. I don't know what that means.
Well, no, it was like, open cubicles, and he was like, no, don't go that way. So,
VR.
cool.
I'm saying it's VR.
All right, I'll buy it.
Especially because they had the VR thing in the re-release of Rise of the Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. It's a little like, all right, here's VR in this little prototype to what is coming with Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
it's still, it still doesn't feel like, because, Crystal Dynamics, and, they feel like they have a lot of ownership on Tomb Raider, so I don't...
They're working on Gex. Here's the thing, though. Kotaku's accuracy for rumors has probably been about 100% over the last 12 months. They don't get anything wrong.
What if it's both? What if it's a sequel VR game? Little side story deal.
Okay.
Could be
I mean,
both.
no, but it's
All right. I just don't think it's
do
a full
they have
game.
any details on what the game
There's
is?
been a long conversation
No.
for just a corner of a.
right. We have
of a
nothing.
spreadsheet,
I mean, it's
yeah.
always
I like
fun
it.
to hypothesize. I'm
know.
down for
I
it.
mean, I hate the title. Can I just throw that? As long as we're doing stuff.
Jones.
I hate Rise of the Tomb Raider.
yes, tell me.
I hate.
Why do you hate that?
I mean, it's confusing because it's like the first game is the Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's
Sure.
that's her becoming
Ends
Well,
with
that's
her
the
with her
second
shoe
game.
gun.
who she is. No, I know, but the first game should have been called Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
Or no, it's a bad title, so it should have been called that. But
I
it
hear
was
you.
confusing to me to play this origin story of this person who discovers strength in herself and overcomes some of the craziest circumstances that would kill all of us instantaneously. And then the next game is like, wait till she rises. It's like, what? It's like the third one was Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
You're like,
no.
Huh?
2 is her legacy.
It's too late to
Then
rise.
it should be Legacy of the Tomb Raider.
Then it could have been legacy. Okay.
It just when you have a franchise like that, when you start working it into a sentence, Tomb Raider something. Come up with a sub name for that. You don't
I'm
have like a
sick of
movie.
Tomb Raider
You don't have a
somethings.
movie called like The Curse of James Bond. It's like no, it's called like.
Well, it's not called
Spectre.
James
It's
Bond
called-
something.
Yeah, but it's like
I like it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Wouldn't
It's
it be
just-
classy if Tomb Raider didn't even have Tomb Raider in the title?
just something. It just Rise
called
is
Tell
just,
Shadow.
that to corporate bigwig.
Are you hearing us, Square Enix?
Yeah, make sure it says Tomb Raider in the title.
In Montreal. I guess, so, Jones, that aside, does Shadow of the Tomb Raider, does that interest you at all? Or
I
is
never
that just
played
like,
Rise. I got it waiting for me on my PS4, so I will get around to it sometime.
Man, you're not-
Loved the first one. Loved the first Tomb Raider. Exceeded my expectations.
Me
so
too, actually. I really did
I just
like
never
it a
had
lot.
just no time.
Blood's played through it.
Yeah. I really like the level design of Rise. I really do not like the story.
Oh, no.
I didn't
No.
like the story, and
You played through it too?
yeah, on Xbox One.
Wow.
Didn't like the story at all. Liked the character, but the story, plot, and everything, I liked way more in the first game. That was cool. And the combat kind of bugged me in that game.
See, when I hear those two comments in the middle, Jones, I'm like, I'm never playing that game.
But everything
Right.
else, there's so many Kyle Bossman things in that game, though. So much. In 2, they tripled down on optional tombs.
Ooh, yeah.
You'll
yeah.
go off and discover some cave. You'll go in and okay, the treasure's up there. Get it.
I
You
like
know?
that. You're right, I like
There's
that.
a lot of little things
Cool
that
stuff.
how they put things in there are pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Look for the announcement of Rise of the Tomb Raider at this year's E3. Isn't that
Shadow of
weird?
the Tomb Raider.
Shadow of the
Sorry.
Tomb Raider.
Shadow of the Tomb
At
Raider.
PSX.
Yeah. I got confused. Yeah, isn't that weird though? That's going to be something that pops up. Like Dishonored 2 was leaked way ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like what E3 are they going to talk about Dishonored 2? It's the same thing for poor Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Well, it's also like as much as I love Red Dead Redemption doesn't mean anything. There's
Yeah.
that you're
That's a
redeeming
dumb
your
title.
Red Deads.
Absolutely, yeah.
Even Red Dead's kind of So Tomb Raider is I don't know, such a generic kind of title. It's just there's only one. There's many people around the world that raid tombs.
Are there?
I would imagine if someone
Yes.
like Lara's up for
Yes.
it, and she's constantly bumping into them. In the old series, she had rivals all over the place. The first game, she has several that she bumps into. Gets a little shootout with her other rival that's also a Tomb Raider. So the idea of Shadow of that one Tomb Raider is it's too much. It's it's nonsense on top of nonsense. It's just
Nonsense on top of
grind it, ground it a little bit more. Hitman comes back. Hitman. Like, yes, so classy. I love it.
I'm sorry, is he the only Hitman? How am I supposed to know which Hitman I'm playing as?
Right. It's a shadow of the Hitman.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess
Shadow
that's
of
a
the
fair point.
Hitman. Coming
Shadow
soon.
of Hitman.
Hitman Absolution. All right, the next segment's called Taking Care of Business. These are news stories that I just feel obligated to cover. Nintendo's having an event in Japan on January 13th to announce more stuff about the Switch. That's when we
Isn't
will
it
learn.
the 12th?
It's the 12th in the U.S.
Oh. got it.
So we will still be on the 12th of January here in the U.S. Meanwhile, the sun will have risen in Japan, and it will be January 13th, and they're going to talk about the details behind the Switch. We won't know about anything about the Switch until then,
Okay.
officially.
Waterproof.
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 Not happening.
Yeah, that's
That's what you're crossing your fingers
Yeah.
for.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
it's such a Huber thing to want. Though,
Of all
you
the
know,
things.
yeah.
Playing that in the shower.
Yeah.
Don't play it in the shower.
Why would you play it in the shower?
Just, dude.
Because you could.
You're in a
You wake,
drought,
up,
man.
you wake up in the morning. Mm-hmm. You're starting your day.
Yeah.
What better way to start a day than like one level in Donkey Kong? Just as you're like showering off.
No.
Quick level. Pop,
You
pop,
need-
up. Put it down. All right.
You gotta
Soap
put-
up. All right. One more level. Ready to go.
I gotta say, I need at least one hand to shower. I can't have them both holding onto a console.
There's multiple ways to play with the Wii controllers. I don't know.
All right. So yeah, like I
Huber's
said,
got it mounted on
gonna
the
be
shower
touchpad
wall with
shower
one of the
games. You can
things
play with
here
your toes.
and the scrubber on the other side.
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Yeah, so I mean, that's what's going on with the Switch. I think we kind of assumed we wouldn't hear more soon, so that's that. A while ago, one of the games that started off our podcast was Smash and Grab by United Front Games, who previously did Sleeping Dogs. They closed. They're gone. Shut down
Devastating.
on October 17th.
No.
Yeah.
So brutal.
I missed that story that week.
They had that
and
online weirdo sequel that they got forced to do too.
forced to do two what?
Sleeping Dogs, right? Didn't it have like that weirdo?
Triad Wars.
Triad
There it
Wars.
is.
Triad Wars.
That's
Yes,
the name
yes,
of
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, also another so that's gone. That studio's just gone.
I can't even believe it.
That's crazy.
You guys may know. Like THQ and stuff, that whole thing, they got bought out. Like, do you think something like that could happen with United Game Front? Somebody picks up Sleeping
That's
Dogs.
a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Sleeping Dogs is still owned by Square Enix, right?
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
So Square Enix owns.
Right, yeah, this is a studio getting shut down as
Okay,
opposed to a
so-
publisher.
Ugh.
And Huber, what we learned about THQ, I loved it. Just some rich guy. Just like, yeah, I'll buy all of THQ. I'll buy all those
Yeah,
properties. I
so
love that.
cool.
Yeah, I love it. Turtle Rock Studios has ceased all development on Evolve.
Okay.
It's done.
All right.
Had a little bump there with free to play. It
Yeah.
was big for a minute again, but
I mean, what, that came out like 6 years ago?
It came out last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on your list, but you know what else just got a final update is Drive Club, even though the studio was officially closed a while ago.
Not on my list, but let's talk about that. Because that's weird that there is even Drive Club VR.
Yeah, so it's basically, I guess it's like the same tracks that are in Drive Club VR and like in the main game now too.
Yep. Apparently, there are still people who are on that team who work for Sony now. And so they were able to still work on the game as Drive Club VR and things like that,
cool.
as well as other people.
Yeah, I didn't know the actual story behind it, so it was actually sort of confusing to me. It was like, what?
DLC for that game that you like disbanded the development team of? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so I think they gave some of them jobs and some of them were working on those things. But yeah, Drive Club has DLC if you love Drive Club.
I think it's free too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just an update.
It's
Yeah.
free?
And it's like 15 maps or something.
4 gig update or
15
something
tracks.
like that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. I guess because it's like, where does the money go? Straight to Sony. Why not? Let's just make this free, I guess. Is that the idea? Man, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, I mean, do we even talk about Evolve for longer? Like, that's just...
It was a fun game. I liked it. It's always sad when games die, you know?
Yeah. Do
So.
you remember? I guess we were talking about Battleborn,
Yeah.
and we were talking about that going free to play as a rumor. It's like, hey, will that really work? And one of the things in the article, their inside source said, oh well, we saw that there was a huge spike for Evolve, and so
Yeah.
we're considering something like that. Hey, don't. It didn't work.
Huge spike for a minute.
Yes.
Massive.
I mean, it's just the game, right? I mean, if people loved it, they would stick around after that spike.
Yeah. Just that was the problem when the game first came out, is the longevity of it.
Yeah.
It's like once you play as all the monsters and team up and take the monster down, there's just not... It's kind of the same routine each time. Like you have the same game plan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, track the monster. Okay, or if you're the monster, right, run, feed. It all kind of had the same game flow per match.
What, Jones?
It's one of those games where, like, if you have, like, a really good match, it actually kind of screws the whole experience, because then you're like, I'm never gonna. That was so good, you know, like that one hunt. We all got that guy so good. We took that one monster down. I think I'm good. You know, like I kind of want to end on that.
Did you
know,
have
like,
one of those?
I just compared to other matches, yeah. Like I would definitely like start an evening of playing Evolve and like have an amazing match, and then like the next 5 were like, okay, I just didn't have good teams and stuff.
Sure, and then that's
like,
enough.
oh, that one was so good. Whereas like when you're playing something like a COD or a Battlefield, like your focus is a lot more on your own performance too, and not necessarily like the composition of your teammates. Like I'm in it to level my own stuff up, to get more gear for myself, more weapons, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
and get good, and you know that's a bonus if I'm good with my teammates and do, you know, perform well in the match.
Very, very hard game. I'm glad you said that. Very hard game to play alone.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know, I never.
Well, unless you're
wanted
the
to play.
monster, you got to play alone if you're the monster.
Play alone if you're the monster, but then, like,
There's no guarantee.
there's no guarantee, and it gets old. You know, how many times can I be a monster and just like smash into guys?
All night long.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a. Oh,
Yeah,
I
that was
did.
a dumb question.
The thing I wanted
All
to make
night.
clear is Turtle Rock Studios not dead. They're going on. They're still making games.
Cool.
They're just saying, you know what, Evolve, you're done.
I mean,
We're
Fable
done.
Legends couldn't even launch, so good job, Turtle Rock.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's out there.
You sparked a really interesting genre. I wish more people jumped on board and goofed around with that format.
Ooh, you know what? One more taking care of business. Right before we shot this podcast, Huber was talking about Titanfall 2.
Talking about Black. It all started because here we are, November 1st. Got an email in my inbox. Amazon countdown to Black Friday reveals. Okay, are we doing this? So revealing the deals of Black Friday, giving me like notice of like, yo, coming up within the week.
the Huber, don't just jump on a 4K TV, man.
Reveal the
wait it out.
deals.
I'm waiting.
But I mean, so the deals that will be revealed will be 3 weeks away still, right?
Or I mean, we're 3 weeks away now, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be 2 weeks ahead of time, or a week and a half. Yeah.
That's so weird to me.
I know.
The announcement.
You got to plan
Of
your
revealing-
strike.
Oh my god.
So anyway, so I'm thinking, because
Yeah.
they're booting up Titanfall 2 for the bet, and then
We'll get to that later.
we'll get to that later. I don't have Titanfall 2 yet, you know, been buried with other games, and I really want to play it. Black Friday's coming. So I say, all right, I'm going to wait for this Black Friday deal. You know, maybe snag that game for $40. Then more. No way will that game be on sale. There's no way.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm confident, Jones. I'm so confident. I just scream out an open challenge. Who wants to bet?
Yeah.
Looking for a challenger.
He said, "Who wants to bet?" Because
Then-
here's the thing: you actually open with 30. You said that thing will
Yeah.
be $30.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I pumped the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm saying, all right, at least 40.
Yeah. Ben took that bet.
And Ben took it.
Yeah.
Ben thinks that game will not be on sale for $40
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
less.
I said 40.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
on Black Friday.
He doesn't doubt that it'll be on sale,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not for that extreme.
I said 40 or less.
I think you got that in the bag, Huber.
The loser needs to make a Titan costume out of cardboard.
or any materials.
And any materials.
I mean, but yeah, cardboard's where you should go.
You have to make a
Yeah.
Titan costume.
Titan costume.
A wearable Titan costume.
Wearable.
And wear it.
Yeah.
I guess to a stream?
To a stream.
Wear it to a stream.
Yeah.
Those are the stakes.
So the reason that I put this bet out too, and then I'm waiting for the deal,
Oh, yeah, because we got some news behind this, right?
is because sales for Titanfall 2 reportedly are well below expectations.
Yeah, and we don't have to even say reportedly because they are published in the UK at least with hard numbers,
Yeah.
and they are less than
Yeah.
Titanfall 1 sales by
Yeah.
a large degree.
Yeah. Brutal. Because I'm very excited about Titanfall 2. Again, I haven't played it, but Jones can attest.
Jones and I pre-ordered.
Right.
Jones can
Yeah, that grappling hook just feels so good. It's unlike any grappling hook I've played in a multiplayer or single player game. It's a whole different mechanic. The weight of it, the momentum.
Totally.
But
it's a
it's
whole
like-
new trick. Especially for a multiplayer shooter to just be like, I can fly now. Like, I'm just gonna fly over those 5 buildings.
I
and
just
get over
love
there.
It's
double
also on
jumping.
PC, which isn't going to get tracked on a UK sales chart. There's a lot of people that are not.
Titanfall 1 was on PC, Blood.
Was it day and date on PC?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was.
The whole thing is just super depressing to me because I love
I just think a lot of people are waiting if they're like they
Yeah.
want to wait.
They're waiting for Huber's $30 sale.
Exactly. Because
No, I don't think
just
they're
got
waiting for the
Battlefield.
sale necessarily, but they're playing.
You
Yeah,
know?
they're playing Battlefield. They're gonna
Yeah.
play Call of Duty. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll get the Titanfall, but they're not rushing out to get it because they've already freaking got their hands on Battlefield.
Yeah. The takeaway for me is just depressing. It's because I love campaigns so much.
And it's a cool campaign.
I cannot wait to play that.
Yeah.
And the whole big thing was, Titanfall 1 doesn't have a campaign. Screw that. It shouldn't be $60 if it's only half a game. You remember how
Right.
insane that got. So like, okay, we'll make you a campaign. And now sales are even worse.
Yeah.
Right.
And they
Than the
spent
first one.
more money on it.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's just I think we all, when it was announced to be between a Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, I think we all said that's ridiculous. In my heart, I assumed there are business people who know better than I do. They see something I don't. They think they're going to be fine. They think that they will still sell their copies. No, those people are wrong.
I wonder
were
if they
just plain
read
wrong.
into the initial Infinite Warfare backlash a little too much. I wonder if they were feeling confident. 'Cause remember the first Infinite Warfare trailer we saw? Everybody
Maybe.
was like, "Meh."
Apparently, the
versus
release date
Battlefield 1.
had been in place for a long time.
I did hear that.
Yeah,
The quote. Yeah, the date was locked a long time ago.
and that was like out of their hands.
Yeah.
Hey, put it back in your hands.
Yeah,
Because you
that's-
killed yourself. You
Yeah.
killed it. EA, you killed
I mean,
the game.
is that
Yeah.
kind of like a marketing juggernaut, a train that cannot be stopped?
At
It's
a-
like you're
at a point,
leading
yeah.
up
Yeah.
to
The money's been spent, so it's just like we're gonna lose more now, trying to pull out of all of these
Yeah.
ad deals and
Yeah.
But that turned out to be wrong. You lost more launching between those two
who
games.
knows? Yeah, potentially.
You totally did. We can say that now with our hindsight that, hey, we were smarter. You shouldn't have done that.
I also kind of feel like Call of Duty's been sort of trying to bury Respawn, like by adding all like a lot of the same type of futury mechanics and stuff like that to their
Grudge.
games.
I sense some-
Infinity Ward Grudge.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a bunch of mechs in Infinite Warfare. I wonder if there's like a crazy mech level or something.
There are mechanical robots.
True.
from a non
That fly even.
publisher.
Yeah.
I mean, as a gamer, I know that October, September, November are insane months. Why do more developers not try to like go Dying Light style and
Have
get a
you
game
looked at
out?
February, man?
February,
gotta-
but there are a lot of games in February, but it's not like the huge AAA, like massive,
Like
Call
Uncharted
of Duty,
4.
Uncharted. You know, there's
Uncharted 4 was March.
It was March.
Yeah.
Was it June? I think it was June.
No way it was June.
I don't think it was.
Prove it, Huber. Okay, so Huber's gonna look up when Uncharted 4 launched.
I think you're probably both off.
You think it's May?
I think it was April or May.
Okay, whatever. Whatever the case
better get this
is,
right.
This is during E3.
the thing is, I mean, like games sell right now. They sell in the fall, and they sell better than they do in other times of the year. I think you have to be like a Dying Light, or a game where it's like Uncharted 4, where like you're. What do you got?
May 10th.
May 10th. We both lose.
What did I say?
You said
June.
June. You said June.
You said June. You said
June.
March.
Yeah, Huber's closer.
But the first headline that pops up,
Uh-huh.
Uncharted 4 story DLC will be the biggest one from Naughty Dog yet. Get ready for that.
That
Biggest
story
one-
DLCs can be great,
Get ready
Huber.
for that.
That's gonna be
Biggest
so
one what?
crazy.
Get ready for that. Yeah, I know, exactly. Kind of a weird thing to say. They've only done like one, right?
Like this Left Behind.
Yeah.
What other story DLC?
5
did they
minutes
do?
longer. Biggest
It's really
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the other Uncharted games had story DLC, did they?
No. Titanfall 2 will have the best Titanfall campaign yet.
Wow. That is a really dumb thing to say, isn't it? Great catch, Blood. Okay. PSX, they're announced it. That'll be cool. Okay. I don't think we have to talk about that anymore. Let's move on to the most popular segment the show has, very well received, called Games with Gold versus PlayStation Plus. This is, of course, where we compare the set of games that you get with your Games with Gold subscription as opposed to your PlayStation Plus subscription.
You've only done this once before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is legit helpful. Like I went directly from this conversation and downloaded Resident Evil like that moment.
Oh, is
It's
that
like,
true? Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the comments, Jones, were negative in response to
Okay.
this. So it's good to at least have someone in the couch
I see
who
what
likes
you
it.
did.
I mean, I don't know if I
like
actually
it.
heard that podcast. I think I might have just saw the comment.
It's like talking about what's new on Netflix. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's nice to know this information instead of just stumbling upon
That's
it.
what I honestly think always to compare games is silly, but I do think there is some value to this. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring it up. So here's what's
I
coming
mean,
up. With,
IGN does it, so it's.
do they compare it against each other too?
Definitely good.
Do they have a winner?
I don't know if it's a winner, but it's like Xbox Gold versus.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a winner here at this podcast.
Oh, okay. This is taking it to the next level.
Yeah,
It's always confusing to me because Xbox is like halfway through the month or something like that.
Yeah, we just count the new games.
Okay.
So we don't really count the overlap. Because, I mean, with the PlayStation Plus, you get all those games forever. You have them forever. If you joined now, you wouldn't have the backlog. But if you have been subscribing, it's not worth it. Okay, Xbox One, you get Super Dungeon Bros. And you get Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yes.
For Xbox 360,
Suspect.
also these both can be played on an Xbox One. The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
My favorite of the bunch.
Nice.
Really dig that. On PlayStation Plus, we have PlayStation 4 games, PlayStation 3 games, and Vita games. PlayStation 4, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Nice.
What are you applauding for? Is that
Love
it?
that game.
You love that game.
Love Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
No, it's a walking simulator.
Soundtrack, baby.
Yeah,
It's a
I've never
walking
played it.
simulator.
Bloodworth has made me since I've known Bloodworth, he's made me appreciate music in video games on a whole nother level.
What's the gameplay like?
You walk around. Yeah,
Okay.
walk around in there.
You find clues.
You see that house at the end of that street? You can walk there.
You like go inside houses
Sure.
and down streets.
No, sorry. I like games with gameplay. Gameplay is really the most important thing for me in a game. The Deadly Tower of Monsters.
Deadly
Nice.
Tower of Monsters. I still remember.
Deadly Tower of Monsters. Just to let you in on a stupid inside joke, we streamed it. We streamed Deadly Tower of Monsters back at Game Trailers days.
Yeah, I think it was in January.
Yeah,
Good. They came out real early.
We were joking about how it sounds like a kid's toy.
Yeah.
How you would see a commercial for the Deadly Tower of
90s.
Monsters.
It's like on an old recorded VHS.
The grandpa comes in. What are you kids doing? Like, oh,
Deadly Tower of Monsters. Yeah. Jones is in already.
yeah,
Nice.
I could totally see
But
it.
it still was very much like that. It was so intentionally cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you're actually like consistently climbing it. Like you can see the beginning of the world. I love the design of the Tower of Monsters. It's
yeah.
kind of cool. Jokes are hit and miss. For PlayStation 3, Dirt 3.
Ooh.
That is one of the most highly rated games that we're talking about. That and Monkey Island. Costume Quest 2 also for PlayStation 3.
Weird that it's after October, but
Yeah, a
okay.
little late there.
Definitely weird. Also, this game is on PS4. You can get Costume Quest 2 on PS4, but in this case, it's on PS3. They will not let you play it on your PS4. Kind of weak, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of hate that game.
Yeah, it's not that great.
I love Costume Quest 1.
I
love
never
to
finished
death.
it. I that was one I was bummed I didn't play this last month. It's over.
Yeah, man. October's over.
It took decorations
Too fast.
down.
Too soon.
You had to take the decorations down. On Vita, we have Letter Quest Remastered. That you can also play on the PS4. That's like it's like this weird side-scrolling RPG sort of thing where you make like Bobble. You make words out of letters that are presented to you. And Pumped BMX Plus,
Pumped BMX Plus,
which looks
the
like
best name out of every game on these lists.
That's
I would
creeping.
prefer BMX Plus Pumped.
That's good too. I like it.
Tomb Raider Shadows. So that is the lowest reviewed game. That is the stinker of the bunch.
Okay.
That you can also play on your PS4.
Okay.
So, panel. Who wins the month of November? Games with gold or PlayStation Plus?
I think Gold does.
Why?
The Monkey Island. I mean, if you've never ever played Monkey Island, not only does that game hold up on its own, but it's one of the best remasters ever because you can click back and forth between the old version and the new version on every single frame. So it's not like Halo 2, where like depending on where you're looking, you can analyze things like it. Could, you play Escape from Monkey Island frame by frame, so it's like you're looking at a framed piece of art every time you go into a screen. And so it's just
Got
like
you.
where I could see myself when I replayed Halo 2, maybe skipping a level or two and not like swapping back and forth. Whereas like every single time I went to a new screen, it was like, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, I would just go back and forth and like
Yeah?
It was fascinating. It was really because neither looks. It's not like with Halo 2. you're like, oh, okay, that looked terrible. That explosion. I can't believe that like wowed me back in the Xbox days. Whereas like both of the examples in Monkey Island look great. You know,
Sure.
it's like, wow, they did an amazing job given, you know, what they had back in the day, and then just like up-resed with VO and, you know, new voice acting and new effects and everything and colors.
Blood Dragon's one of my favorite
And Blood
games to
Dragon's
talk
killer,
about. I
you know?
love Blood Dragon.
Especially for like a free game, you know,
Yeah.
so you don't get like even Resident Evil's like, ugh, it's a little intimidating, you know. It's like, you know, maybe like 7 or 8 hours you're done with that, you know, if you're quick. But Blood Dragon is such a perfect, you know, a good game to recommend to pretty much anybody.
And the biggest factor for me is usually games you haven't played before.
Okay.
Right? Murdered Soul Suspect is my dark horse. It's my hidden gem on this entire page.
Have you played that?
Yes.
And you like it?
I love demons.
Uh-huh.
I love demon stories.
Yeah.
And like witches and witchcraft. I love that stuff. And it's not a great or phenomenal game, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. It was engaging the whole way through. And it's just like a little different than normal games, you know?
I think it's a really good Games with Gold game. I
It's
think
a
it's really good.
perfect
It's
subscription
there
game.
waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's
we'll get it.
Yeah. Blood?
My whole big thing is that like every game, like I always try to find the you know, dumb game Monday,
Yeah.
fun game Monday.
Yeah.
There's always like something in it. Even if I don't like a game, there's always something I can appreciate. And Murdered Soul Suspect has a ton of little things.
Blood, who
That
are
I
you going
love.
with?
So to me, I feel like these even out to be a draw.
There can
Personally.
be no draws.
Because all right, number one, I don't have a Vita, so that's kind of not even relevant to
Well,
me.
you can
But
play
these
both
are
those-
these are pretty freaking weak.
You can play those games on your PS4.
Really,
Yeah, both of those games
they
can
both
be.
still seem weak.
Yep.
Pretty weak. But like, yeah, I don't know, like. So they both got something I'd say like, yeah, people need to really play it on like.
What do people need to play from that PS Plus lineup?
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
People need to play that game?
I love
What's
it,
combat like?
And I wouldn't say you
No
need
combat. It's not about that.
What's it about? There's no combat?
It's
better combat than
It's
Princess
about
Bride.
yeah. It's about a freaking murder mystery, basically.
How could I lose in this game?
You can't. Well, you can
Stop playing.
lose by giving up.
There's no end state? There's no end
There's
state?
end credits.
But I can't lose?
I mean, you can lose by just like just I don't know, getting lost and not figuring out where to go.
How do I get points?
There's no point. What are you talking about?
Can I give up this?
I gotta high score this.
I
How do I platinum this game? Blake?
I love Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I think it's a really tough free subscription game. It's
hard
I
sell.
think it's such
No,
a
I
hard
think it's
sell.
a perfect free subscription game because there are going to be people like you who's like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend money on something like that, but it would be able to like jump into it and actually like really enjoy that experience.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Christmas and your aunt hands you a present and you open it up and it's a book. I feel like that's what that is.
What?
I was like, I don't want a book for Christmas.
And
I don't want.
you know it could be the best book ever, but you're still not willing to put the time in to read it.
Yeah.
Even in the back of your mind, you know, you're like, dude, this book looks good.
Yeah, but I got toys. It's Christmas.
Yeah, but this book looks so good, but I'm not gonna read it.
Yeah, I just got Driver.
Yeah.
Like what? I'm not gonna read this book. I just got video games.
You say Driver?
And you know what?
Yeah, the
Like,
PS1.
Driver was a
One.
Christmas game. Driver was a Christmas
like
game.
I don't know if you do this, Jones. But like whenever these things come out and there's like something like, oh, I want that, but I don't know what I'm gonna play. I'm still on like just
Yeah, I'll
hit
still
just
grab
click
it.
that download button. And I think that's why I think like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is like one of those games for people who's like, oh, that sounds like something I might like, but I don't know for sure.
I love the
You
stats
know?
on how many people download Blood Dragon versus Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean,
there's
that'd
no
be
question
interesting to
which
see.
one's like the better game, but
Yeah.
But it's only on 360, right? Not Xbox One.
That is playable on Xbox One.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but it's still with the 360
The 360
version. Yeah.
But you can-
But yeah, so it's like to me like, yeah, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and like Monkey Island are like definite stuff that people should play, and then Dirt 3 and Blood Dragon, and then Deadly Tower of Monsters and Murder Soul Spec both have that kind of like cult vibe to them. And then yeah, it's Super Dungeon Brothers. I don't know enough about,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's a tricky one to pick on.
I'm going with Xbox.
yeah,
I think we got to give it to Xbox. So the
It's close though.
Easy Allies podcast total so far this season, Xbox One, PlayStation 1.
Nice. The
It'll
accessibility.
mean more when we do it next year for 12 months, actually.
The accessibility kind of tipped the scale too. You can play the
Accessibility.
Xbox 360 games just on your Xbox One.
I think that's a huge deal.
Those PS3
Yeah.
games you cannot play on your PS4.
Right.
And
That's an advantage every single month.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I honestly do like a lot of times I don't even worry about what is on the older platforms just 'cause like
Yeah.
I hear you. Dirt 3? You're not downloading Dirt 3.
If it was on
well,
PS4,
I've
I would
got
have
Dirt
done
3
it
on my
tonight.
PC. So.
Oh, okay. What's up?
If
Got
Dirt
Dirt-
3 was on PS4, I would have done it tonight.
Yeah.
But
Hey, do you all hear that? Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of November. Michael Kazachenko, Mango, iKeyless. Need a new car key or remote? iKeyless.com has been in the key replacement business since 2002. Check them out today and they can help you save you up to 75% off the dealership's prices. If you type in offer code EZA at checkout, you'll get 15% off of your order. Scorn! An atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Sweet Justice, a sound design company based in England that's worked on Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and Call of Duty. You can see their work and hear their work at www.sweetjustice.audio. YoYoTricks.com, a tutorial website for teaching people how to yo-yo. To buy yo-yos and learn how to get started, visit yoyotricks.com or their YouTube channel. Go to yoyotricks.com/easyallies to get 25% off their top recommended yo-yo for anyone who's ready to start learning yo-yo tricks. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors and Sophie for protecting us from the evil people that live in the alley.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thanks, Sophie.
What timing?
Behind every like exchange like that is an owner with the dog in the alley that doesn't care. That's just like, yeah, you guys tough it out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because if they pulled the dog away, Sophie wouldn't care. But that dog's there the whole time. Like, they're nose to nose, screaming at each other.
Showdown.
Sophie, thank you for protecting us. It is now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
Excellent. Excellent. Rufus?
Oh yeah,
Just
it sounded
good job, yeah.
Yeah, like even
Healthy.
the tempo seemed a little higher.
And
than
we haven't
usual.
done surgery on him yet?
No.
Wow.
We're gonna run him dry until, he dies.
I mean, he wouldn't die. We just need a transplant, but you know.
He will never die.
Question:
Oh, sorry.
if your brain dies and you have a brain replacement, are you or is
Yes.
that no?
No, you're not. Well, no, yeah. If
You
they
are your
take the
brain.
brain out and put a new brain in.
Yeah.
I don't know that
If they replace some tissue or something, it's
That's not a
always
brain
debatable.
replacement, because the brain replacement would be replacing the thing that actually creates the song.
Okay,
It's more of a heart replacement.
it's a heart replacement.
So it's like your brain is still functional somehow.
He still knows the tune.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Just
you
can't-
swap out the heart.
He just can't get
And
it
people
out.
do that. People get new hearts.
Yeah, okay. And I think you can replace your heart and still be you. Absolutely.
I was picturing him in some retirement home somewhere, and some nurse is going, and he wakes up like, "That's my tune." You know, grabs the sax.
The thing that Rufus, the advantage Rufus has on us is, when you replace, whenever you replace that, I mean, he's gonna almost double that lifespan, if not go on beyond that.
Oh yeah, he's already an old toy. I love Rufus. Okay, let's do a serious. This is a hard one. We just played a dumb game. Let's do it. I'm throwing a fastball at you. Hi, allies. I know Kyle likes criticism in these things, so here's a bit of that for you. I promise that it's given in good faith, and I hope it will provide some fruitful discussion.
Let's do it.
The SAG-AFTRA strike was discussed at length last week, raising issues of how much credit and compensation video game actors deserve. I'm sure we all agree that more is due from publishers and developers than what is usually given. I would also say that it should be given by games press in their reviews, wherever it is appropriate. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, this does not occur very often. While this can be observed across lots of different games media, what brought this to my attention most recently was EZA's Mafia 3 review.
I was just thinking that.
Written
Good, I'm
by
glad you brought
Michael
that.
Huber and edited by Brandon Jones. I found this review highly informative and reflective of what the game offers, but when describing the story, it says, quote, Lincoln delivers a sympathetic performance during this tumultuous era of racial inequality, and his friend within the CIA, John Donovan, is equally gripping and charismatic. I honestly think that naming and praising the actors playing these characters rather than the characters themselves would have been very, very appropriate here. For the record, they are Alex Hernandez as Lincoln and Lane Compton as John Donovan. However, I also acknowledge that animation teams, visual designers, cinematic directors, and many others conspire to create the way we feel about these characters, thus complicating the issue. I'm fairly confident also that editorial discussions on how to treat those factors in reviews have occurred either now or in the GT days. As such, I'd love to hear if the panel could discuss their outlook on how to single out performance talent in the reviews, especially Huber and Jones in relation to this review. Love and respect, Dominic from
I'm
Australia.
on the fence. I could sit on both sides of this debate.
I love this question.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
Who played Donovan?
Donovan is played by Lane Compton.
Lane Compton, man. That character in that game, that performance, I don't like. This is one of the first times that I've gone through a game, and I was like, "Who is that guy?"
Is he the friend in the hotel room with all the
Yes.
stuff that's like,
Yes.
"Hey, have I got a tape for you,
Yes.
buddy?" He's really good. Yeah.
That's worth saying. That's absolutely worth saying in a
When
review.
when I finished the game, like that was one of the takeaways where I was like, "Dude, who played him?" I IMDb'd him. I looked up what he had done. He hadn't done much. I was like, "Dude, that character, that guy, so good."
I think that kind of thing is worth bringing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not, Jones?
Well, there's some hesitance I have. One kind of feels like name dropping. You know,
Yeah.
it's like oh, Troy Baker's in this game. Do I have to mention Troy? You know, it's like if I were to hear that in a review, I would wonder, like, is that preloaded? Like, is that a situation where Huber was like, who is this guy? And looked him up and then mentioned him after the fact? Or is that person such a fanboy of that actor that they can't write this review without mentioning, of course, I gotta mention this actor, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I've deliberately left out composers'
Right.
names because it's like, I talk to this guy, you know, whenever I get a chance, and yeah, so it's like I don't want to name drop him. So.
The other tentativeness is, which is why I think I don't do that, is because a lot of times, especially when I'm in like a super immersive game like The Last of Us or Mafia 3, we're like very, character heavy, and they're really carrying the narrative. I don't think about that, like the more, even like probably knowing a lot of people, like in person that, do these voices, because like I've met them, through my wife. It's like, I don't want to think that way. I'm certainly not gonna think that way beforehand. I'm not gonna be like, okay, Nolan, let's do this, and be like, no, I don't want to know who that is. I was actually kind of bummed in Mafia 3 that you can tell, I could tell it's Nolan North immediately. His character walked in, I'm like, oh my God, it looks exactly like him, and that always kind of, messes with my brain a little bit.
Whereas
it puts a wall in between me and really being immersed in the world. And so I understand it's weird saying that the character, it's the character and not necessarily the performance, but it's like, if I'm just playing the game and I don't know who that is, I think that's the win. I think that would be the best compliment. It's almost like people doing special effects. Where you're like, oh, were there special effects in the movie? And you're like, yes.
Dude, I was
like,
gonna
yeah,
say
that whole building wasn't even there. And you're like, oh, cool. Versus like, special attention should be paid to that building, which you didn't know was there. And you're
No,
like,
what if a theater reviewer goes to see a play
different.
and then says, I was
Very
so
different.
immersed, I couldn't
Very-
even see the actors.
Very
what
different.
a performance.
Very different.
Why very different?
Live.
live performance.
Not animated. You're not doing the voice. You are not just adding like an affectation to this. It's not like, oh, it's an African-American person, but I'm not African-American. It's like, no, I'm seeing your performance. If the lights are on a stage and there was a person on a stage, there's no coders, there's no servers, it's that, but you are carrying the entire experience. The person who wrote this probably left this production weeks ago. It's like, it's a lot more is on the shoulders of the actors doing that. There's very little you could talk about at all if you had not brought up the actors in a show. Whereas within a game, it's like, you kind of want it to vanish. You kind of want multiple things, writing, mocap, their faces, how that's animated, the voice performances, all of that kind of comes together to create the performance. And so to me, it's easy to lose one of those elements and kind of view it as a whole, to view it as just that character. Like the way that character was portrayed. It's like, yeah, if you're a big fan of voice acting, then you can, associate that voice actor with that performance, but I'm not going to pinpoint it was any one thing. That like, oh, the acting was bad, but the writing was good, or the writing was good, but the acting was bad. It's like, I just believe that character. They pulled it off. So.
But I think that scene.
But this is devil's advocate. I'm not saying that's the right answer. It's just like.
Yeah, because that character you talked about that you both stood out to you, if that person said, hey, I have your guns.
Totally.
You would say that was bad.
Right.
If the voice acting was bad, you would say that sucked.
He did a great job, but so
Yeah.
did the writer writing the script. You know.
Yeah,
And
again, it's not a matter of giving giving attention to one person versus another. It's just that compared to a film and television and live theater versus a video games and an animation, really like animated film and television.
On the other hand, I am super bitter that Andy Serkis has not gotten like nominations for like Rise of the Apes and everything because people are like, oh well,
That's half the animation
motion
team.
cap. It's half and then. So I mean that can kind of be applied into video games as well, you know, because
It's hard to know who did what.
Blood, would you ever mention a voice actor in a review?
I mean, I'm sure that I have in the past, but yeah, I mean, I think it's hard because it's like part of it is it's like okay, I mean, he's talking about giving people the credit where it's due, and talking about talking about just rating the performance, but then there's also the other thing of like, well, why are you going to bring somebody up? And a lot of times it's like you bring up a person partly, you know, again, it's sort of that name dropping thing. Like this is something that like people are going to be familiar with.
I don't think it's even like that. Like imagine you're writing a review of a play. You have to mention the actors' names.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bummed I didn't put the names in now, to tell you the truth. Honestly. They deserve to be mentioned because again, that game has a ton of problems. It's so average in every way. But the one takeaway for me was their performance, and a lot of that was the acting. Every word they spoke, I was just, yes, like, to talk to me, yes. You know, whereas...
Yeah, but it's like...
Whereas,
I
like,
don't
if the lighting was amazing and it was one guy, you know, I could... If it was
But
one
even something
dude-
like Her Story, like clearly you would want to mention her, right? There's one actress in the entire thing. One actor in the
her
entire
name
thing.
is
You're
probably
staring
in
at it the
every
whole time.
single review. Yeah.
But does it need to be? Are you going to sell me the game more by being like, she's really great? You know, she's this Canadian actress. You know, she's been in these TV shows or whatever. It's like, stop. And now I know more about her. Now I'm thinking about her as opposed to the actual performance, the actual character, and the way that character
But
fits into the story.
just the name. You know, you don't
need that whole
anybody's history.
IMDb thing.
So and so as boom done.
Shines.
Shines.
Yeah.
Dazzles.
Yeah, I mean,
Dazzles.
I think there's place for it. It's just a weird thing because it's just such a like Jones is saying, it's just a strange thing to single that out, you know, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of games where there's just the one writer, and how often are we gonna call out the writer, you know, other than just, you know, we would say that the writing is really good, but we wouldn't just, like necessarily like, okay, who was the guy that did that, you know?
But I
It's weird.
still think it's really rare to be captivated by a specific voice actor in a game. I still don't think we're there. You know, sure, there are a lot of games where people give great performances, but the sheer volume of games, how many times are you saying that character, that specific voice actor?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is I think that's bad voice direction. You know, if you're like, everyone in this game sucks except for that guy, or like everyone in this game is like, yeah, but that guy clearly stands out. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what
That's
were
not
these
bad
other
directing.
people doing? You know, like what?
That's a good actor.
Right, but wouldn't that distract you from the game? Wouldn't that then actually be a negative shot at the story, that it's like all these other people aren't very believable, but this one person's great. I have to call this person out because they I wouldn't say distracting, but it's like I was so focused on what they were doing that they kind of alienated the rest of the cast.
I don't think so. I would give an example of Uncharted 4. The antagonist, forget his name, that actor did an interesting thing with that role. Rafe. Yes.
Yeah.
RAFE, I think it is. That doesn't say, hey, everyone else sucked. Everyone else was boring. The directing is bad. It's like that person did an interesting thing. That was an interesting spin on that particular role. I don't think that says, hey, the directing is bad for the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's not. None of the statements I'm making are like blanket like that. You say this, it means this. It's just like my head starts to veer in that direction.
So a weird thing that video game reviews have to deal with that movie reviews and play reviews don't is the whole game, right? I still care about gameplay. I still care about how double jumps feel. I still care about so many other things than, oh, you're going to just name the actors now. So it is weird. There's so many more components to a game review.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then that's the thing. It's like when you're balancing your review, you don't want to get long-winded on everything. So like you sort of pick and choose your battles. Like what is actually worth talking about.
The other thing too, Amanda has been in shows where they've literally called out every single actor in the show but her. She's literally read the entire review, and they're like, love this person is this role, and this person is this role. And she's like, great. So sometimes it's like, well, if you call out a name, and it's like, well, it's like you should give these actors their due if they're good. It's like, well, then all the other actors that were leads, maybe even bigger roles than the person you mentioned, are like, oh.
Jones, when
did you mention me because I sucked? It's like, no, they were just really good. It's like, well, you specifically called them out. So obviously we weren't good enough to be called out.
I hope you're not worried about hurting actors' feelings.
Isn't that what we're talking about, though? It's like, aren't we talking about giving credit where credit is due? And I think if you say the music's good, voice acting's good, the characters are really well realized. Take that as you will, If there's some guy in the back that did the art and is like, thanks, you're like, great, that's to you, buddy. It's like, I'm not just gonna say it's all on, Frank over there in the VO booth. It's there's a lot of people that, and that's the other thing is like, who knows? Like maybe they're just real good and they just came in that day and just, it's like, is Anthony Hopkins really good in Westworld or is he just Anthony Hopkins? I can't tell, It's like, are some people just, good? I think the last voice actor that really floored me, that I was like, what? I had no idea Troy Baker was in Far Cry 4 the entire time I played it.
Oh, he's the bad
guy,
guy,
Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
It was like, wait, who? Who was he? And they're like, he was the bad guy. I was like, wow. Like,
I don't want to say this result.
Just having that guy's voice just in my head and being like, that didn't say, and then going back and listening to him being like, I can't believe that's him. That sounds nothing like him.
Nolan North in Last of Us.
Yeah.
Had no idea. No clue. And like you were saying earlier about like the illusion of that is something. So like not bringing attention to it is almost respecting the craft in a way.
I don't think I knew about Joker being Mark Hamill until like the Arkham games started coming around.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I was so into the animated series back in the day that
like I wasn't paying attention when I was a kid watching those shows. I was just watching the shows.
I learned about his villain in the Flash TV show. Huber, what was his name?
Trickster.
Yeah, had no idea that was ever a moment.
Did you see the rumors? Not to go off topic. Did you see the picture with the?
Yeah.
Seen that?
No.
Yeah. Spoilers. Huber, don't look at it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers.
Oh my God.
It's cool stuff. Okay. Let's move on. That was a cool question, though. I like that. It was
very,
challenging.
very interesting. Yeah.
Great question.
Love it.
It's an ongoing thing. It will change how important it becomes and things like that. I like that kind of question. Mm-hmm. Next question comes from. This is an unconventional question.
Who asked that question? I apologize.
That was Dominic from Australia.
Dominic.
This comes from Utori Kiuya. Kyle, I've been wanting to hear Bloodworth and Huber's opinions about Deus Ex Mankind Divided for the longest time. I'm not talking about a review. I want to hear their deepest thoughts about the game in their own words.
Those are my own words.
I would have heard about it from an episode of Frame Trap. That is funny.
They're my words now, Blood.
That is my consciousness on the...
I would have heard about it, or I skipped that. I would have heard about it from an episode of Frame Trap, but Brandon's inability to press the record button robbed me of my wish.
Oh no, yeah.
It may have been payback for Huber calling him out for not finishing Uncharted 4. Curse you, Jones. Joking.
Assault.
Kyle, if you're not a monster, you will read this question on the podcast and ask them what they thought about Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Take us away, Bloodworth.
This is probably the last chance I have on this game before you guys move on to other AAA titles. So for the love of Easy Allies, I'm literally begging you to ask them on their overall thoughts to a great sequel. Love and respect.
Also,
Motori.
Before we start this too, I kept stringing him along because I bring
so you know who this person is?
Yeah, I bring it up on Huber Syndrome.
Oh my God.
This Thursday, I talk about it. Not only Deus Ex, but I talk about a concept, and Mankind Divided is heavily featured.
Oh,
okay, so.
I think this might be where I was going. So this is funny because we might be. Well, some people will get it after Huber Syndrome. So you've brought up this point. Mm-hmm. And I kind of sort of disagree and sort of agree with you on about why is Jensen rummaging around through people's apartments.
Yes.
You're playing as Jensen.
I know.
So you're asking, why am I rummaging around through people's apartments?
Exactly.
Why are you rummaging around?
That is the question I asked myself, and I immediately stopped doing it.
Yeah.
It made me look at and play video games differently.
This game by itself?
This game by itself, I now play video games differently.
But
I got into this whole big thing about trying to tackle every game the same way, like a video game. I gotta go in, I gotta min-max, I gotta level up.
Find the tower.
Find the tower,
Yep.
finish all the things, collect everything, finish all the side quests. I took that mindset into every single video game when every single video game is different. And Mankind Divided, I was doing that. And because that game is so just immersive and amazing and there's so many great things about it, I asked myself that question and I stopped doing that and I fully embraced role-playing as Jensen. The RP as Jensen. When I go into a room, I turn around and I shut the door.
Cool.
Things like that.
Nice.
And it just...
Only do this with games you're not reviewing. Obviously.
Because it takes longer,
Don't
you mean?
skip modes just because they don't
Oh,
RP.
Yeah.
Here's another counterpoint to this. It's not true in every room, I would say, but I think in many rooms, in most of the game, I would say the game gives you the freedom to go anywhere, but the motivation to go there, you might not necessarily get in order.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you could find the code for that vault in the bank in somebody's apartment, but there's sometimes a little bit of a disconnect of like, well, I went to the apartment first and I just got the code.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the code went to, and the code just autofills. But I think in a lot of cases, like early on, one of the apartments that you first go into, you go into it because there's a roadblock. Like the only way to get past that roadblock is to, well, it's not the only way, but one of the ways to get past that roadblock is to go on the rooftops, go through this apartment, and then go out through the air ducts and the alleyway on the backside, and then you've gotten past the roadblock. And I think there's a lot of little things like that. I even ended up in the boss's apartment like way early. And I'm
Nice.
like, I'm just like looting my boss's place, and then later on it's like, oh, now there's a mission that takes me, but that's the thing. It's like, it's interesting and weird to me in a way that they've constructed that game to not wall you off from places you're quote unquote not supposed to be. So if you want to just go ahead and like explore every apartment in Prague before you do anything else, you can
love
do
that.
Total
that.
freedom.
My Jensen would do that. RP.
My Jensen was doing that and
Didn't feel right.
didn't feel right.
Wow.
And I think that's a really cool takeaway from a game that taught me something, that made me appreciate video games in a different light.
But you missed the Penguin King.
I missed the Penguin King.
The Penguin
I did
King?
a lot of side quests, but I might have missed that one.
That one's an easy one to miss. It's pretty hidden.
Is it
Dang.
a large penguin?
It is a large penguin.
An emperor penguin? Oh, it's a penguin king. Sorry.
I did like the evil cult underground. I like that. But there's one thing I wish they would get away or get rid of. Actually, it was also in Human Revolution. Was the ability to read their eyes, and it gives you a little mini game where there's like alpha, beta, omega, and then whichever one flashes the most during a certain section of a conversation.
While you're talking to somebody, yeah.
That's the one you choose.
Yeah.
And I wish they would just eliminate that.
Why?
Because
They sort
The
of makes
game-
it a little too easy to tell what the,
it's
the
just-
right answer could be.
it's just too easy. Whereas
It
like
still feels stressful, but it's like I never really got them wrong.
yeah, and I think that's such a strength of that game is that who the person is, what they're saying, and how they say it, and having to read the situation and what they say. I think that is so strong that that ability kind of undermines all of that.
And I think-
and I got that so early because I'm tackling games to beat them because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, that's going to be OP. I'm going to get that immediately because so much of the game is conversation. Just little like,
There are actually some of those types of conversations I didn't even get in because I didn't get the social enhancer until later. And so
Social
that, like there wasn't even a dialogue that popped up with some of those characters.
Is this game gonna pop up again when we're doing Game of the Year awards?
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah?
The one thing though, I don't know if I've said this on camera yet or not, but man, they make really great games and then really have no freaking clue how to make DLC.
Oh, the DLC
Yeah,
is not so
It's
good, huh?
so freaking.
People have reached out to me too, and are just like,
What the
so
heck,
it's,
man?
It's fun by itself, but like how it fits in
Yeah.
the whole thing is so.
It
bizarre.
doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit.
in
It's
either
like
game. In Mankind
it's like
Divided,
they've
it is.
taken something that this wasn't really good enough to put in the game, and then we'll release that as DLC, and then it doesn't connect to your game in any way. It doesn't connect to your save file in any way. It was restarting the whole freaking process. I'm reading tutorials about how to build mines And like I played the game for 40 hours just 3 weeks ago. I know how to build a mine.
Square Enix at it again.
Totally.
It's like a
fat
standalone.
cats.
It's basically it would make more sense if they sold it like Infamous First Light.
Okay.
It would
Yeah.
that if they just sold it like that.
Is it that interesting?
It's still okay.
One of
but
them's
the
cool
problem
because they
is,
bring back a character.
But the problem is they throw it in the middle of the freaking storyline.
Yeah.
So it's spoilers.
Yeah, it ain't right.
There's no good answer to how to do that.
Before we move on, final thing
Sure.
was that I still think stealth is better than combat in terms of playing the game. Like combat,
I think it's more fun.
stealth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, trying to figure everything out. And
Going
yeah,
in air vents.
combat has been improved, but it's still, I think stealth is still favored by the team.
Yeah.
And initially, the ending upset me. I thought there was going to be another act, or I thought there was going to be another chunk on the game.
Yeah.
I've had a totally different perspective on
Yeah.
that from so many people.
Yeah, the ending is like
Because I'm
a lot of
like,
people talking about it.
all right, because like I was getting to things and like I felt like the side quests that were like kind of like multi-chapter side quests were sort of like everything was sort of wrapping up. All the pieces were sort of coming together, and then it's like all right, you're going off to another
So-and-so.
place. Yeah, I guess I won't say it. And I'm like, yeah, here we go, final chapter. And so many people were like, the game ended and I didn't see it coming, and I'm like, really?
Oh.
I
Because
mean,
to me,
it just
there's
felt like it was
So I guess
happening
because
to
you
me.
did all the side quests.
because to me the game has like hub levels
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
smaller linear ones.
I love those hubs.
I thought it was going to be one more hub.
No more hubs.
And there wasn't. But okay, so I was initially disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where I slept on it, and I started to appreciate it more in terms of the greater context. Again, initially pissed, but then
Who are the standout voice actors?
dude, Jensen's one of my favorite voice actors in the biz. I love Jensen. I don't care. I asked for this, whatever. I don't care if he's a meme. I don't care if people compare him to Batman. I love the look and the sound of Adam Jensen so much. One
Flood,
of my
when
favorite
you
They're
wrote
still
this-
not good at faces though.
When you wrote this review, why did you find it not worth it to bring up that actor's name? You're right, man. Faces are tough. Okay, question number 3. I like this one. Last week I said please no Switch questions because we're going to cover it during the actual episode itself. Switch questions back on the table for the rest of the year. We won't find out anything until
Okay.
January 12th, but why not still talk about it? Here we go. Hey, allies. Do you think Nintendo refusing to acknowledge the Switch as a replacement for the 3DS could negatively impact its chance for success? Affection and appreciation, Ryan. So, there were a couple about these actually, about Nintendo saying, hey, we're not replacing the 3DS. This is an interesting one. If they're not replacing the 3DS, will let fewer people buy a Switch if it's not going to be the successor to a 3DS.
I mean,
But it is.
this
It
is
is.
this is
They
the
totally-
DS
They can say whatever they
thing
want.
all
Yeah.
over again. Remember when the DS was announced?
The third pillar.
It's the third pillar.
Explain
It's
that to
not
people
gonna
who don't know.
It's not going to replace the Game Boy Advance. It's going to be a new platform alongside the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube. And yeah, and it took off, and they completely,
The Game Boy died.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was obviously the successor, but it was sort of like they were not wanting to stop selling the GBA.
Yeah. The DS has a Game Boy Advance slot in it.
Yeah.
It's like clearly the successor. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's a similarity here to where, okay, yeah, they needed to bring up the NX and the Switch as early as possible to, tell all the people, it's like, hey, we know the Wii U's awful. We're not done. We got more on the way. But at the same time, it's like, well, we got to sell some 3DSs this Christmas, guys. Don't tell people not to buy a 3DS this Christmas. I mean, I think I just saw there's another new color somebody else has got going, and
Wait,
so,
the Cosmic thing or Beyond the Cosmic thing?
I think I don't know.
Oh, that
I-
lime green Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good looking.
So it's
Yeah.
I think that's really all it is. It's like they just want to get that last 3DS holiday out there, and they'll continue to sell 3DSs.
And games.
The
I think
cheaper
games will keep
option
coming
for
out.
things and all of that. And I'd be really curious to see, like we have no clue on so many questions.
Sure.
It's like will this thing play digital versions of any of the previous platform games? We actually have no clue.
Will it be waterproof? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't have the
We
answers.
don't know.
Can I shower with this? Here's an idea. Huber, hear me out on this.
Okay.
There's an attachment that's like a scrubber.
Yeah.
So I can like scrub myself and play the game at the same
Oh,
time.
did you see the attachment rumor pop back up again?
What
Perfect.
attachment rumor?
So
If you're playing a really intense game, but you're like washing as you're doing it, you can't. There's no pause. So I gotta get out of the shower. This boss fight.
I forget who republished or who relinked this article, but I guess back when all the rumors were happening,
Yeah.
they were talking about, well, since the Switch would have like, detachable controllers, then they could release specific, like different types of controllers for specific games.
Oh, I saw a mock-up I loved big
So like
time.
if you wanted like
Yeah.
a fishing controller, you just get the fishing thing.
Switch it
If
in.
you wanted a motion controller, they could just whatever. I saw like somebody had like sketched up a bunch of them, and one was like a yokai watch. And there's just like
Yeah.
all of these different ideas, or like a GameCube pad, or like a something that's a little bit more traditional and that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, you could potentially do that.
And I think at their investor meeting-
I think you would want to do it more as like a Rumble Pack situation where you just pack that thing in with whatever game it is.
Right, I'm buying a new yokai watch, and it comes with a little spin wheel attachment that I can switch in. I think it's totally practical, and I think at the investor meeting, Kimishima said, yeah, that's possible. That's totally doable. We could do that. I think that's basically all they said about it. So it is another fun thing to imagine. Jones, how many more months of the 3DS are there? After
Has any game been announced for 2017 for the 3DS?
Oh, many. I mean, so we
Wow.
have Pikmin for 3DS.
Yep.
We had that
that's all next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably it though. I doubt past this point we're going to get an announcement of another 3DS game.
So like by 2018, it's cut off.
I would not say cut off. I would say faucet is closed.
So it's dripping.
It's dripping.
Yeah.
Okay, got
dripping.
you, Hubert.
I'm
I gotta agree
real
with that.
curious as to what the 3DS third parties will be doing.
Yeah, like how expensive is it to develop a Switch game?
But the thing is like I think we're now at a point where it doesn't feel like, oh, you have to make an expensive game to be on a quote unquote console or something. It's there's so many cheap little games.
Oh, on
I mean,
Wii U especially.
awful Wii Shop games.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, there's so many bad eShop games.
but it's tricky because
But there's good ones too, like the freaking Pirate Pop Plus that I played. Is like, this sounds like it should be terrible. Oh, this is really fun.
And that'd be such a good Switch game.
Yeah.
That would be a great Switch game. What's up, Jones?
I don't remember.
Okay. Really? All right. It's late, everybody. It's late. It's that we're feeling it. Yeah, I thought that was.
Well, you want to put new and improved on everything. So it's like, I'm curious when we get Phoenix Wright, when we get the Phoenix Wright for Switch, how they're going to market that. Because they're going to be like, it's better than ever. Like, is it? It's not
Yes.
split screen. We don't know if there's touch yet. So there's all this functionality that we're used to in these puzzle games that we've played, Layton and all this stuff, on the 3DS that's not on the Switch now at all. We basically have to like take these dual screen, cool puzzle heavy, touch games and just take all that out of it and then just make it like a normal console game like everything else.
How many of those were there, Jones?
I don't.
Well,
Well,
it's two screens, kind of. It could be on the handheld and the.
It can't be on both at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
They
so
said that.
yeah. So I'm just
Whoa.
wondering how these franchises, how Nintendo approaches it, how they sell it as like, you like this game on 3DS, wait till you play it on Switch because it has much less functionality. But hey, it's
Much less
it
functionality.
looks better.
Much less functionality.
We don't know about
Potentially, I don't know. I'm not making the game, Kyle. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just saying, even a little bit less is like not the position you want to be in as if you're selling something.
Look at that 720p screen, baby.
Right? Yeah.
Because one thing I wonder.
But is like Phoenix Wright in 720 like what you've been dying for this whole
right?
time?
But I wonder though, if you could flip it on its side and you have two screens there,
Oh, don't. No.
Can't be on both?
What?
It's crazy.
What?
When did they say that? Like the initial.
So
After the
it's-
initial reveal,
people
yeah.
have been asking questions and
just
stuff
kinda
keeps
threw out
floating
there.
out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
here's the crazy thing,
Okay.
Huber. Here's the rumor. If you want to do fun Switch rumors,
Yes, love it.
I love fun
Feed
Switch
me.
rumors. That the right Joy-Con has a little IR sensor. So the way that you will play touch games on your TV is much like the old Wii, pointing it at the TV. The receiver of the IR sensor is the top of the Switch that sticks out of the taco shell
Okay.
when it's in console mode. That is the rumor. How crazy is that?
Crazy.
That's a little crazy. 'Cause I don't think.
Super
Blood can't even
crazy.
process that.
I mean, I don't think Nintendo would make games like that.
Oh yeah, such a crazy rumor needs to be addressed as crazy.
Deus Ex, it changed my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mankind Divided. No, seriously, looking at consoles, everyone's giving me a
Changed your
hard
life,
time.
dude. Yeah.
Give me a hard time because I was talking about third-party support on the Switch. They need allies. I was mainly referring to third-party exclusives because we got on this whole discussion of like, well, if it's on all, PS4 Pro and Switch, which version are you gonna buy? That whole thing. But looking at consoles the same, like I'm thinking of Deus Ex. It's making me look at the Switch from a different light. It is just such a different machine, you know. And while I may not play as much on the go, it's still offering something that no one else is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RP.
Love that.
One
RP
thing
the
that I don't
machine.
think I've necessarily brought up on camera yet is for me, like the Game Boy I never really had because of portability that much, you know, or any of the handhelds. It's like I got a Game Boy because I wanted to play Link's Awakening, and then once I got a Super Game Boy, I only played on the Game Boy when I pretty much had to, like when I had to take a long bus ride or something, you know. It's just like, and it's sort of been a continuation of that. It's like, well, I play the 3DS because I want to play this game. If I could stick that onto my TV, I just would.
I hear you. Pokemon though.
Remember trying to?
But I mean, but that's the thing is though, it is convenient to be able to just take it with you.
Yeah.
Like it is great to be able to just, like even now with the Wii U, even though it's like tied to that box, like that's still the easiest thing for me to take with me when I go off to see family on a vacation or something, because I don't have to worry about hooking up to somebody's TV. My mom doesn't have an HD TV because she doesn't care.
Oh, so you're just playing off the screen.
So I
get
just
what
play
you're
off the screen. Yeah.
That's cool. Sorry, what's up here?
Remember trying to milk the last little bit of sunlight in the backseat of a car on a regular Game Boy?
Oh, big time.
Just like, come on.
Even a Game Boy Color,
Oh,
man.
no, I had a giant magnifier and all that crap, yeah. And the battery pack that fit on your belt.
Battery pack. Do you have pictures of you with the battery pack?
I don't have a picture with me of the battery pack, but I still have the battery pack in my box of stuff.
So we could make a picture.
I got two more quick ones. Here we go. This is from Christian Thomas. A cheeky little question for Huber.
No.
To mark the occasion of the most recent Gilmore Girls trailer dropping, I just want to know, are you Team Dean, Team Jess, or Team Logan?
Why are you asking me these tough questions?
That's a tough question?
Yes.
When I saw that question, I thought Huber would be like, oh, Team Logan, move on.
I'm at this point. See, I think so much time has passed that
is
there's
good.
like
This is good.
there's no like they're done. They didn't work out. So if she ends up back together with one of them, I think it's weird.
You want a new team.
I love Logan. Dean was first love. She'll always love him in that way you love your first love. Logan, love Logan, but it just didn't work out.
Sure.
Her and Jess, I could see, is the closest because they had that deep connection, unlike, you know, that like deep special connection. But I think it's none of the above.
None of the above.
I really do. I
What
truly
an
do.
answer.
I think it's gonna be someone else. Or
Cool.
Yeah.
Good question. Good answer to a cheeky question.
Cheeky question.
Avoided the cheekiness. All right.
Can't wait.
Hello there, gentlemen. I have a question. Oh, I just love this question. There's not much we can say about it. We'll have a quick answer to this, but what a scenario. Hello there, gentlemen. I have a problem, and I was wondering if you can help. I was a tester for the Fable Legends game from the start until it was cruelly ended by Microsoft. Having signed an NDA, I never talked to anyone about the game. Even some of my best friends who wanted a little idea of the game, I told them nothing. Being a huge Fable fan, I respected Lionhead and honored the deal I made with them. However, since it's shut down, I've been wanting to tell my friends about the wonderful experiences I had with this game, but I don't know if I should. I gave the studio my word that I would not share any information about the game, but since it's dead, I really want to at least tell people I love. I want to tell the people I love about, or I'm sorry, I want to tell the people about the love I had for this game and why it was such a crime that they killed it. I would not be sharing any videos or images should I honor the NDA or tell my friends about the game and how jolly it was. Love and respect, Sam R. Sam R, sorry for butchering that last sentence. Okay.
I have 2 answers.
Okay.
Answer number 1, no, because just like officially the statement to be made on this podcast is you should always respect an NDA if you sign it.
Yes.
Like if you were, I understand you're in a bad place now and you're looking back at that company, but like you did work for that company, you did make that promise while you were there employed at that company.
You made the promise.
Right.
That's, yeah.
Answer number 2, if you were to tell your family, I don't think anybody's gonna come break your door down.
What about your friends, though? Because it actually wasn't,
depends
should I
on,
tell the ones I love?
Depends
It
on the
was,
friends.
should I tell people about the love I had?
Because I don't think this kind of question should be relative to whether a game was going to be good or not, or whether the employees were treated bad. You know, it was like, oh, we all got kind of screwed. Therefore, the NDA is null and void. Like, no, it's like, oh, that game was kind of silly and pointless. Therefore, like, there's no,
I think
rules are rules.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's sort of, I don't know. The NDA was probably a Microsoft NDA anyways, right? I think it's, more than anything, it's probably a little bit too close to be going too wide. But at the same time, it's like your friends, it's like, yeah, how much do you trust them not to blab? That's what it really comes down to. You know, it's like, there's a difference between telling some people that you know in close proximity and which you should not do in normal circumstances. But it's like, as time goes on, that becomes less relevant.
Also, totally depends what you're talking about. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, are you dying to tell them that there was some character that never got revealed that you worked on that was really neat,
Or some
that had some
gameplay
cool ability or
elements?
something? And like, okay, cool. You know, like that's not gonna. Kotaku's not gonna write about that. You know, like that's not gonna be some crazy new headline.
But I mean,
Whereas,
that's the
like, if there was
proprietary
someone
stuff,
that
man.
got fired and you know why they did,
It's clearly
or
not that. He clearly just wants to talk about how excellent the game was. However, I still think even that is part of the NDA.
sure, officially, like that is
Yeah.
that is an official statement. I think it's that we're responsible.
And so
saying.
I feel for you, Sam R, but I feel like you're going to feel bad if you're divulging it. Clearly, Sam R is a person of principle.
He made
Which
a promise.
is which is lots of respect.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I think you got to stick with it. There's an outstanding NDA I still have for a canceled video game, one of the first I worked on in LA. The first thing I worked on.
Haven't played one.
Still haven't told the Easy Allies about it.
There it is.
I trust
love it.
y'all with secrets, obviously.
Yeah.
We tell each other secrets all the time.
You made a promise.
That NDA is still under wraps. Yeah, I think.
But the
Sam R-
company still exists as well.
I'm bummed because I had the pleasure of playing Fable Legends at one of the E3s like 2 years ago.
I played it several times.
And granted, I was
Loved it.
next to Nick Plessis for the Plessis effect that has been known to enhance gameplay sessions. The game was awesome. It was so jolly. It was so fun.
That would have been an awesome stream game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A stream game for
I
sure.
still think that game. That's like that cancellation is one of the top 10 big whoops of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a weird
the,
thing.
It was the joke we made in the formation of our company.
The thing is only he knows.
Oh, yeah.
I sat in that chair and I said,
Yeah.
Fable Legends is canceled? Because just insider joke when we all came up with ideas for what the Allies, our intro video would be.
Yeah.
And then Kyle actually wrote it and then sent me that script and I was like, oh yeah, Fable Legends being canceled. That would be hilarious. Kyle was like, that got canceled. And I'm like, what? And I was like, it was in that gap.
Yeah.
And so you wrote the joke before you realized actually how relevant it was that I had that situation reading the script I got from
Yeah.
you and was like, what? After all that they've been through, the delays, the free to play, and all, they just finally.
Jones, you give me a hard time for doing this podcast, but if I didn't do this with you every week, how would you learn about video
I
games?
wouldn't. I didn't know that a new Tomb Raider got leaked. I didn't know. I didn't hear about that at all. I wait in anticipation every Tuesday evening to get my updates.
Yeah.
It's just all the delay, like you're saying, the bad delays and the bad press and everything. It's like you expect the game to be trash,
Right.
and then when you stand there and you play it at E3 and you're like, wow, this feels really good. You play as multiple characters; they all feel different.
What's
and
your
good.
theory then, Huber? Why did it get canceled?
There's like that gray area of like sustainability. It's like, okay, this playing on the floor a couple matches is awesome, but what's past that?
Evolve.
So
I think it's just in this really
Sure.
gross middle area where it's like if it was an up and coming game, like Enter the Gungeon or something that was just like, what? Who's this team? What's this game? Wow, there's always so much to discover here. You know, then like that game can get a lot of momentum. And if you have something like a Titanfall, like, oh, maybe it'll launch and not get the right numbers, but it'll still start, you know, above most other people. And Fable's like right in the middle. It's like it has that kind of up and coming different format. 4v1, which a lot of people were doing, but like in a different way. But it has this franchise that's got a stigma that's really not known for like.
That's a good point.
You know, getting better and better with age. It was like,
instead
Fable
of
3, I don't
being-
think it was as good as 2, and
It was like, what did it gain from being a Fable game? I don't think it gained anything.
it seemed pretty
really-
far from. It was really just the music and the style, really, of the characters.
Unless the NDA is about how it all ties in to some sort of campaign in relation to Fable 1, 2, and 3.
What if that's Samar's secret?
What if it is?
Then definitely don't.
Yeah.
Then definitely keep that to yourself.
By the way, I hope Sam R is a pseudonym. Like, that's almost too much already, Sam R.
Samar.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't feeling the game as much as you guys. I was.
Well, it's just, I mean, we're talking about Evolve, right?
Yeah.
Evolve 4v1 versus a monster. You are hunting that monster. So that monster kind of knows where you are. You, most of the time, have no idea where that monster is unless you're directly engaged in combat with it. It's another thing to play a multiplayer game where you're against somebody. That person is watching you all
Yes.
the time. That person
Yeah.
never is unaware of where you are and exactly what you're doing, where you're headed, what you're looking at, what you're targeting.
And
you know,
there's-
it's like the first time I played through it once and I was the hero, and then this like huge like orc or golem like popped out at the end, like, oh my god, and then it was like, okay, well, you be the guy, and I was like, well, I know exactly when that golem's coming. So I like one guy was like, oh, I'm just gonna go off to the left here, and I walled him off from everybody, and the golem just came in and killed him instantly.
Oh,
And like
Jones, it's so evil,
that
dude.
feeling was like, I can't think of any other game that made me feel like that. That gave
Yeah.
me that kind of satisfaction of like being smart, playing smart, and just being like
Killing a man.
being a
Yeah.
Twitch spectator basically, and being just hitting the fail button. It's
Yeah.
like so good.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'll miss it. But not a game, not a, like Fable Legends Super,
Yeah, of course,
you know,
of
it just
course,
wasn't
of
up, wasn't at that
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good perspective on that. I like
and thanks to NDAs, we'll never know why.
Yeah. It is now time for bets. Next week's bet. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare releases on Friday.
Our review coming soon. I don't know. Hopefully,
Have you started?
no.
Oh, okay.
We might have gotten a FedEx package, but we don't know.
Oh, I see.
Reviewed the last 2 CODs. Looking forward to this one.
That released on Friday. At this time next week, we're looking at the most recent comment on the most recent video posted to Call of Duty's official YouTube account.
About Infinite Warfare.
Yes.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, it would be hard for me to, because basically they have their own account for Call of Duty.
Okay.
It'd be
So
hard
it wouldn't
for
be
them to-
about any team, or wouldn't be like about some sweepstakes that they're doing or something.
It might be.
Okay.
Jones,
mean, if
anything
it- yeah,
to
okay.
that Call of Duty
Got it.
account? How many words are in that comment?
12. 12 words.
Sure. Michael Huber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 words.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Please be the highest one. Please.
26.
Oh, damn it. Yes. Good job, Blood. This is what I was
Yeah.
hoping for.
Yeah.
I was like, Blood, you
They,
better go
they
high.
boxed us
I
in.
know.
They
I
boxed us
want
in.
to go low.
We don't know yet.
I think I found last week's Prove It ticket on the couch. While I search for mine, there it is.
Here's the other route.
Yeah, we got a little stack of Prove It tickets now.
Wait, I want you to prove that that's the proof.
Take your pick. Okay, and Jones, I'm so sorry. I let you down. Number 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
no!
Yes.
But there's proof, baby. There's proof for anybody that we don't.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
no.
and
There's
here's
no
the thing.
Low.
backdoor shitty deals.
If we're
Like,
right, Jones, if it is 12, that's double the points.
that is double the points.
Okay, so let me lock that in.
If it's 1, we're screwed. If it's 500, we're screwed.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It's 500 words in that comment. Okay, last week's bet, Titanfall 2 came out last Friday in response to the beta. We'll skip all that. So we played Amped Hardpoint. How long would it take for our Titan meter to fill up playing Amped Hardpoint? Because it's supposed to just happen naturally, passively. You don't need to shoot people. You don't need to accomplish things. You're just going to accrue Titan points naturally. Jones, you bet 5 minutes. Ben, right next to you, also bet 5 minutes. Ian bet 2 minutes. I bet 4 minutes and 31 seconds. We recorded this immediately previously to this podcast. We did a playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
We got into the match, and it was apparent almost immediately who was going to win this bet because it fills up very slow. It fills up so slowly. It was very apparent immediately. Oh, the 5 minutes wins.
Should have picked 501.
501 would have done
501
it.
would have been such a slam dunk.
Yeah, we have a split. We have 2 points awarded. Jones, you get a point. Huber, as you're in Ben's seat, you also get a point.
Yeah.
We did it.
That brings our totals to Green Lizards
You and Ben
15, Red Eagles 19. Okay, so we have to split responsibilities. Here's what's on the table.
Chop it up.
One person has the right and responsibility to share a Twitter handle. One person gets to share any Easy Allies video they would like to share.
I'll give you all of it if I can get one thing.
Whoa.
One person
Whatever
gets
you
to
want.
promote any
If I can,
Easy Allies video.
If I can plug the video,
Do it.
I'll give you everything else.
The trade has been
Okay.
made.
All right.
Huber, it's all yours.
I am at. What am I at? Just kidding.
Do we have other business to?
Michael P. Huber.
Oh, did some Patreon stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do some Patreon stuff.
Yeah.
I should all probably go because he's signing us off. So if I go first, then he gets everything into the sign off, and then
Okay,
we're done.
sure.
I don't need to play moderator. Sorry. We should do Patreon first.
Yeah, do you want to do some Patreon stuff?
Sure.
Yeah.
What is that?
Patreon.com is a website. Kind of like Kickstarter, kind of like GoFundMe.
Okay. I have a frame of
Specifically,
reference for
Patreon has found a really good place in the video game community. A lot of really great Patreons. Mr. John Finger, a good friend of ours, just started
Yeah.
a Patreon.
What's
Mr.
his?
John Finger
Making action
is
films.
based in Los Angeles. He
Oh, cool.
specializes a lot in like green screen and mocap and film tech, and not just like crazy film tech. The guy's not a millionaire. Like he does his films on a budget, and that's kind of his thing. Is that like for this little money, you could get a drone. You could rent these really cool equipment that does this really cool stuff. So it's always fascinating to see what he puts together.
Former editor of Pack Attack.
Correct.
Showed me the most insane video of like Vikings on a mountain fighting a dragon. He's like, yeah, I filmed that in my living room.
Nice.
What?
All that, yeah. If you see any of his movies, it's all people jumping on couches at his place. But it's great. It's like look, this is all we could do on a couch.
Yeah.
And also pointing out, a dear friend of mine, Mr. Danny O'Dwyer, started one called No Clip.
Oh, have you seen it?
But the actual
didn't get to see it
Patreon, I
yet.
have not seen any of the stuff that he's put up yet. But the actual Patreon is just his name, is Danny O'Dwyer. Easily one of the best documentarians in the games industry. I mean, like doing the kind of thing that's like, great. I wanted that to happen, but I didn't want to have to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is hard
the
work.
Rocket League thing, man, it's so good.
He's a great voice, great eye, great, really good team people. And the thing that's great about Patreon is it's not a race, it's not a game, it's not one of us needs to win and everybody else wants to lose. We all win if you just support and you talk about other things. You can find us at patreon.com/easyallies.
Yeah,
$1 will get you my show, which I do twice a month, called Cup of Jones.
Can I just kind of put that challenge out there a little bit? If you watch this podcast every week,
What challenge?
give $1.
Give $1.
There are a lot of people who watch this, and a lot more than that we have patrons. And I think if more people just gave
That's
$1,
not a challenge, though. That's not a challenge.
yeah, give $1.
Give $1 if you want to.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're watching this every week and you like it, then yeah, give $1. Is it worth $1 for 4 episodes a month?
Yeah, I would prefer, as a challenge, for you to find someone who likes Princess Bride more than
Guy, you didn't win the bet. It's not you. You don't get to.
Troy. We're in the plug section,
Could you please
man.
final word? Just
But
shut
if
this
you
man
can't
up.
do that, maybe you can give $1 after that, maybe. But
That's a quarter a week.
Oh, why did I pick
It's a
the video
quarter a
plug when I
week.
clearly just? Oh, when I get the prove it ticket next week, I swear to God. What we're doing right now is entirely crowdfunded, and that's extremely exciting.
Yes.
a little bit scary too, but in a good way. I love this. I love our community, and thank you so much for just watching, even if you aren't a patron. But very exciting things are going to happen. It's not just a sustainability thing. It's not like, oh, I give you guys $1 and then I'm in, and then nothing ever changes. Like what our operation is changing month to month to month. We keep thinking about doing new exciting things, starting new shows, opening up opportunities that we haven't had before. And the more followers, the more money we get, the more we can do. So it's just $1. Consider it. Challenge.
do you want to promote any video?
I would like to promote the 2nd episode of Game Sleuth, which just went
Yes.
up.
Cannot wait to watch this when I get home.
This episode is intense. It is about the hunt for the Sasquatch in Grand Theft Auto 5, and really just Rockstar in general, like their history with the concept of the Sasquatch across many games. And I think one of my favorite things about this episode is that it's a real great proof of concept for what Game Sleuth is. And it was this issue that even in the living in the amazing heydays of the absolute peak of popularity of pop fiction, we realized we're going to run out of material at some point, because a lot of the way pop fiction was based was that, like, you don't know the answer, wait till the end. And Game Sleuth is like, you might know this story, like you might know all of this, but let's just package the whole thing together. It's like retros. It's like you've played all the games, you know the story. It's not about like us, throwing factoids at you that like every 3 seconds you're learning something new. It's just that we took the time to get all of the information and put it into the most concise, entertaining package possible. And I ravenously played Grand Theft Auto Online. I've played San Andreas like 5 times. I've played Grand Theft Auto 5 at least twice. And I didn't know half of this. I mean, there's so many little fascinating things about this.
Well, there's a lot of people
it's just
that
a
knew-
marathon to get through the whole story and to
Yeah.
finally get to the end and the payoff. It's fascinating, and it's
Love
not a
Villager
pop fiction
too.
thing where it's like there's no right or wrong answer. It's not like Damiani didn't come on the scene being like, okay, everybody, I'm gonna figure this out. It was really just like, you should know that this happened.
Yeah.
You should know what the Rockstar did this, because it really speaks to what a just nutty, awesome company they are. So
Yeah, because I think
Hats
a
off
lot
to
of
Don and
people. I think
Damiani.
a lot of people followed up until like the first half of the episode, and they knew that happened. But then where it goes from there, which is like, what?
It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
and the community and these people that just that spent hours and hours trying to figure this out
Damiani's been working on that for ages.
for a long time.
And I didn't appreciate it until I was watching it, that Damiani was actually working on it. And I was like, come on, Damiani, why is Game Sleuth taking so? I was making fun of him forever. It's like, oh, okay, you worked super hard on it.
Also, the same kind of thing if people were like, yeah, like Pop Fiction's back basically with Game
Yeah.
Sleuth now, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna get the second episode to you guys as soon as possible. And like, cool. And then it's like, why is the second episode taking so long? Go watch that episode. And
Yeah.
you'll know.
I get it. Damiani redeemed.
When you have to beat GTA 5 for starters, when that's like the beginning of the myth, like it's a hardcore myth.
I'm as hyped to watch the episode as I am to talk to Damiani about Grand Theft Auto.
You
Yeah.
can tell he's having fun in the capture.
So
Oh yeah,
You can tell he's having a good time.
his first time through.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever played.
that's right. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not his kinda
Yeah,
game,
it's
yeah.
not. I'm
Sophie's
very
hyped,
excited to just like Damiani. Let's get hyped about GTA
Yeah.
instead of Final Fantasy.
For once.
I'm
All
ready.
right, Huber, the microphone is yours.
Just Twitter is at Michael P. Huber.
That's correct.
And then final word.
Final word, and then sign off.
Final word. Sign off. Okay.
Anything you've disagreed with or want to reiterate?
Okay. I'm gonna reverse it. Final word is stay hyped, or my sign off is stay hyped.
Okay.
The final word,
Do sign off first.
No, he's doing it.
yeah, because the final word is Princess Bride is better than Shrek.
So here's the thing: if you do just let the controller stand still, we'll get booted out for inactivity. Should we jump or should we crouch?
Crouch.
Okay, so
Crouch.
we'll crouch on and off. It's been agreed upon.
Crouch.
We're starting a match of
Love crouch.
amped hard point.
Okay. Tell me when to start.
Don't customize a thing.
As soon as you get into the
As
match.
the first frame of the match having
It,
begun.
it boots you for idle pretty quickly, just FYI.
Okay,
Here we go.
okay, here we go.
Get that timer ready.
It's ready.
What do you think crouch is? Circle?
It's got to be circle.
It's circle. It is
Okay.
circle.
Okay. Amped hard point.
You could just run in a circle too if you want.
We gotta earn a Titan.
Does
Jump
this
into
count as a
location.
game?
This does not
Not
count.
yet.
We're getting
Playable?
close, though.
Playable?
Right there.
or-
Not no
No.
way, dude. No way,
Sorry.
dude.
Okay.
Because you're not earning
I'm
yet.
first
not
playable.
talking.
Okay. 7 seconds. Here we go. Drop. Drop me in. Drop me in.
Tell me when you have control.
Control is ours.
All right. Timer started.
The guy next to us doing the same thing. Oh, there he goes.
Okay. They're probably so mad,
Team's
dude.
gonna hate you.
So that's our Titan meter at 3% right now?
That's correct. That is what it is.
Oh, this is gonna take forever!
Yep.
Where is it?
What did we all
is that-
say?
4%.
5 minutes. That's what I said.
Faster.
No, it's gonna take forever.
Faster Titan meter.
6%.
Nah, that's a 2-minute meter right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
come
30,
on.
No, it's not.
30 seconds for
come on, bud.
8%.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say come on me?
Come on, bud.
Oh.
Come on, blood.
Come on, blood.
Come on, Bloodworth.
Sophie, what's that?
Imagine if our teammates find us right now.
Be like, sorry guys, I got a problem. My controller's weird.
It's for a bet.
It's for a bet.
Wow, 12%?
Yeah, there's no way this is 2 minutes.
No, I'm screwed.
This is huge.
I'm hosed.
Yep.
So one.
Because the match is 10 minutes.
It's about
Did I
5
say
minutes.
the longest? Was 5 minutes the longest? Brennan and I tied. for
It's
longest?
about 5
Tied
minutes.
for longest.
Okay.
That's the stakes right now.
Yeah. We both said 5 or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll accelerate.
No, it won't.
Yeah, it'll start accelerating.
Yeah,
Is it based on team or by your
Yeah.
own performance?
that's the ticket.
I'm playing this game.
Blood, that's based
I'm
off
playing
nothing.
this game. No, it's even. This is like 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
This could be bad.
We're at 225 already.
Respawn.
Or 125, sorry.
So minute 30.
Fifth of the way there at a minute 30.
Dude, it's like the whole dang match.
No.
Because it's not doing
If
that.
you only like get the Titan this way, you will only get one Titan, like for the whole match.
If your team holds all the hard points, does that increase your?
It's
percentage?
slowing down.
Capturing a point does increase your thing.
It is slowing down.
Dang. But what if we get to here? What if we get to the little arrow?
No.
Oh.
What the arrow?
Yeah.
No, that's how much you need for amped weapons. That's your boost.
Okay.
So once you get there, you can activate your boost.
Oh, but no
hard
Titan.
point.
No Titan, yeah. So it's not an accelerator or anything like that.
Oh, they found us! What does that mean? I guess we spawn back in. We're alright.
Yeah, respawn.
That just adds more time
Press
to the counter.
respawn. Press
Look at us.
respawn.
Look
Press
at us.
respawn.
Oh,
You-
okay.
You almost
Press
stuck.
respawn.
Yeah, you're right.
It was still.
Actually, I don't even know. I'm not 100% sure if capturing the
Oh,
points gets
Titan,
you
don't hurt us.
Titan stuff.
29.
I'm not even sure if that does. I think it
Oh,
does.
Titan, don't hurt us. I think he's on our team, actually. That's a friendly Titan.
31. Is this gonna happen?
That's
red.
not a friendly
That is
Titan.
not a
red.
friendly
Why
Titan.
would
That
it
is
be
not a
Titan?
friendly Titan.
Oh, don't hurt us.
We're not a threat.
Nice, Titan kill.
Nice job, buddy.
These guys hate us so much.
Oh, they don't
We're
even
like ultimate
care
BM.
about it. They don't even know whether you're doing it.
Our buddy just died
45.
right in front of her.
Right in front of us,
just
we should go get that battery to help out, but nope.
37.
Oh, there's a guy right there.
Oh, don't see us.
Shoot him.
No.
No, we can't do anything. Oh, don't see us.
It's hard not to play
yeah,
this game.
shooting would add to the meter.
Yeah.
Not bad.
This is a tempting ass shooter to play. It's like I want to shoot things.
What is that?
That was Bloodworth, like making weird noises.
Howling.
Well, my bet is hosed.
Yeah.
Who bet the most?
We got this in the bag.
Well, we both got in the bag.
Yeah, we both got in the bag.
So Ben and
Brandon.
Jones
Yeah.
tied.
Yeah, we all get points.
So it's a point for each team.
Lame.
Lame.
More of that.
How'd you both land on 5 minutes exactly? That's so weird, dude.
Because we're just smart.
It's not that weird.
You're
5 minutes is like the bet.
No, I reviewed the game. It's an unfair advantage.
This is not a fair bet for
Yeah,
sure.
it's not.
Yeah, but it's so far.
But
away
see,
from
that's the
5
thing, and I
minutes,
said that
man.
at the beginning.
You could've
No,
done-
no,
you
yeah.
could've sealed
No,
the
we all
deal.
were like, this is a bad bet. Kyle's had it this
You
show.
could've sealed the deal. Going higher than 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I'm not even
Exactly.
close to like the actual.
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's halfway. It's 10 minutes. Like, you might not get it before the thing is over.
We're gonna call it Titan when it's time, though.
If the match is still
I
going.
know.
This clip's almost as long as our podcast.
Well, obviously, edit it down, Jones.
Yeah?
Yeah, just
Yeah?
chuck it at the end. It's hilarious.
Should I do that?
Yeah.
Chuck it at the end.
No,
Chuck
just
it at
speed
the
it up.
end.
Speed it up.
Chuck it at the end.
I'm not going to do that, Kyle.
Yeah,
Okay.
cut
Play it at
down
500%.
Oh.
So respawn immediately this time?
Hit respawn, yeah.
Okay.
Chew for me.
Wait, was he teabagging us?
Was that Chew?
Yeah.
Here's
Wani
Johnny
boy.
Boy to come yell at us.
I'm sorry, Wani boy.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Nobody cares.
We're calling that
cares.
Titan.
We're calling that Titan.
We are actually probably going. The point threshold is probably going to be reached before we get it. Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're
they're
just
like
almost on.
80% of the way there.
Yeah.
There's
And
dudes
they've got
talking
2
too.
amped points right now.
Yeah, it's done. And there's only 4 minutes 50 seconds left in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would get on right before the timer goes out, but I think they're going to hit the score first.
So it's really funny that people are complaining, like, you have to put the meter back because I'm not good enough at shooting things, and, like, you can't get your Titan.
Well, I mean, when you have
It's-
2
it
amped
helps.
points, like, yeah,
When you have what?
when you have 2 amped points, like,
Oh. Amped makes you get more points?
you get double the amount of points if it's.
Oh,
amped.
okay.
Out.
Unpaid hard palm.
We're not going to be able to call that Titan down.
Oh, no.
It's almost over.
Legitimate sadness.
It's almost over now.
Sad pilot is sad.
Somebody once. Oh no.
69%,
Stalled.
70%.
GG.
GG.
What's stalled? 98.
71%.
400. Defeat.
So it got to 71% in 6 minutes.
72%. Is it still going up?
Epilogue.
Get to the dropship,
Yeah.
Kyle. Get to the dropship.
Let's go. Stop.
What?
Stop. You're
What?
breaking the bet.
No,
No,
that's
the bet's over.
It's already over 5.
That's over.
That's over.
Get there, Kyle.
Give them
Epilogue.
a moment, for pity's sake.
But
Epilogue, baby.
This is breaking the bet.
It's
You're
not
breaking
break the
the
bet.
bet.
The bet's over.
The bet's over.
That's
the bet's not over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over.
Still, the match
It's
is
over
still
5.
You're still getting a meter.
The bet
It's over 5. So
is
whatever.
over.
Everyone, calm down.
We're just saying, like
We
he
gotta
is,
know the real number.
he is breaking
Do we?
the bet.
No.
I mean, he isn't.
It wasn't going to happen, Blood.
But to keep that happen.
He might. We don't know how long.
Guys, just let him get to the ship.
Let him run.
Oh, no.
Shoot that guy.
Don't see me.
You're not supposed to get to the ship. You're supposed to get a Titan.
He's supposed to just keep crouching over.
Oh! Oh!
Get on that ship.
Use the grappling hook. What are you doing? You could have made it.
I wanted to be a hero. Look, I died incidentally. The guy clearly wasn't aiming at me.
Bet is nullified.
Incidental death.
Bet is nullified.
So,
Guy
yeah.
backed up, stepped on Kyle.
The 5-minute bets wins, for sure.
There it is.
Nice. Good game.